So hi everyone, welcome to EduMoon webinar. This is the first time we're conducting webinar. So first about, let me tell you about EduMoon. What is EduMoon? So here is my friend Shivani. She is the hosting. She'll be hosting now.
Yeah, so EduMoon is like a startup that we've initiated. Like this is not only for Andhra University, basically for Andhra University, but also we are like looking forward to develop it more. Basically, EduMoon is like a one-stop solution for all the students. It has different courses, different materials. You can also, search for internships over here. There'll be workshops and live sessions like this one, and college blogs, previous question papers, and all the college related stuff. So yeah.
So basically this is first time we are initiating this in Andhra University. Now we have, from our AU alumni, we have our Revati Balaga, who is our senior basically, and she got All India rank 26. So that's a very good thing. So and everyone want to learn from her. So that's why we are connecting Revati here. She'll be in few minutes. Until then, let people join. Already Google Meet is completely full right now. So we also kept the YouTube link. All everyone wants to join there. Within 2 minutes, we'll be again live. రేవతి ఎక్కడ కనపడలేదు నాకు ఇంట్లో
So Revati ma'am, could you please come and interact with the audience? Like everybody is really waiting to interact with you and like want to know more about cracking gate. They want to like know the tactics and everything.
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, so am I visible clearly?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
yes.
absolutely enough.
Okay. Wonderful. So, first of all, thank you very much, Vikas and Shivani, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I would like to first extend a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm glad to be here today to share my story with all of you. And I will be happy to guide you through all of your queries, and I hope you will be clearer about GATE at the end of this session. So, yeah, let's start.
Yeah. So like, what is gate and why do people write gate? Why is it important?
Okay. So that's the most important question. I will direct this answer to those people who are just starting out. Okay, so this will be very basic. So, what is GATE? GATE stands for Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. So this is an all India exam conducted around February in the first and second weeks actually. So this is actually conducted in 25 plus papers. Like over all the branches that are there in engineering and some sciences also. This is generally conducted in online mode. Before I talk about the pattern of the GATE exam, let me just tell you why you have to prepare for it. So, what are you going to get by preparing for GATE? So, the first and most importantly, GATE gives you a path to pursue courses in MTech in the most prestigious colleges of our country, like IITs, IISc, NITs, and various other institutes. So, secondly, this is also your path towards a PSU job. If you want to work for a public sector undertaking, there are many PSUs that recruit people based on their GATE score. Thirdly, there are also some foreign colleges that take admissions through the GATE score. So you can also apply for your masters in abroad using your GATE score. Also, various organizations like ISRO and DRDO conduct separate exams for recruitment, but their syllabus and pattern is similar to that of GATE. So preparing for GATE gives you an edge in those exams as well. Okay. Apart from that, there are other fellowship programs in management as well. If you're interested in management, you can do some fellowship programs in IIMs and various institutes like NITIE, etc. So these are the basic paths and avenues that open to you once you crack GATE. So for MTech, after you finish your GATE exam, you will be given your result, in which there are three aspects that are revealed. One is your rank, which talks about your position in the All India performance list. Secondly, there are your marks, which is out of 100, so you're given your marks. And also, there is something called the score. So your score is basically a normalization. Okay, it is given for 1,000 marks. All the MTech institutes for MTech and PSUs consider your GATE for taking you in. So MTech, they consider your GATE score. Some institutes also conduct their own interview for selection. Also, for MTech admissions, your GATE score is valid for 3 years. So if you are writing GATE in 2021, you can apply based on that score in 2021 or 2022 or 2023 also. So it is valid for 3 years. Coming to PSUs, the GATE score is the basis on which you will be selected for the further rounds. The further rounds include group discussions or interviews also. But a major weightage is given to GATE. Around 75 to 85% your score is considered. The rest, 25 to 15%, is your marks in the group discussion or interview. Okay. So coming to the pattern of the examination, it is for 3 hours and there are 65 questions in all for 100 marks. The maximum marks is 100. Some questions carry 1 mark and some questions carry 2 marks. So the paper is divided into 2 sections. So the first section is general aptitude. It carries 15 marks and the rest of the 85 marks belong to your department specific subject questions. The paper type, the questions are comprised of multiple choice questions where you'll be given a question and 4 options out of which you have to choose a relevant answer. Or there is also a numerical answer type where you enter the number that you get as your answer. So there are questions that carry 1 mark, there are questions that carry 2 marks also. There's negative marking for multiple choice questions. So you get a minus 1/3, like for 1 markers, you get a 0.33 negative marking for a wrong answer. And for 2 marks, you get 0.66 negative marking for a wrong answer. For numerical answer type, there is no negative marking. And if you don't return the question also, there's nothing. It's just nil. So the first part of the exam, which is general aptitude, it contains verbal ability and numerical ability. Verbal ability includes your English grammar, sentence completion, things like that, analogies, critical reasoning and all that. And coming to numerical aptitude, there is your general quant syllabus, which is numerical reasoning, other subjects like clocks, distance, speed and time, profit and loss, time and work, etc. So the rest of the 85, this aptitude consists of 15 marks and the rest of the 85 marks goes to your department specific subjects. So that is about GATE, why GATE and the pattern of the examination.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very informative. But what moved you to write GATE? Like, you are a topper. You could have written CAT or have done masters, but you have written GATE, choosing GATE. What is your story?
Okay, so coming to my story. For the first 2 years of my engineering, I was totally clueless. I mean, I didn't even have the thought of what I was going to do next. So I was just involved in academics and other extracurricular activities, taking part in student organizations and clubs. Once I came into the 3rd year, I then started to think about what my future was going to be. And naturally, like many of you must be already knowing, many paths were like in front of me. So CAT, GATE, GRE, like Shivani just pointed out. So it was a huge dilemma of what to select. So I thought thought maybe I should do some research about this. So I spoke to people, and I did some research on my own on the internet. And yeah, so based on that, I wrote down some points. I first thought about what I want to be in the future. So what is my ultimate goal, and which path out of all this is going to be take me closer to that. So taking into consideration all these aspects, and with the help of my mom's suggestions also, I decided that I will give GATE by the end of 3-1. So once I was clear with that, in the second semester, 3-2, I enrolled for coaching in ACE Academy, Vizag, in the weekend batch. Like I had classes on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays from 3 to 8, and Sundays it's from 8 to 6. So Saturdays, Sundays, and all other public holidays were given to the coaching. So that is how I enrolled. I decided I will give GATE, and then I enrolled. After that, I started attending the classes very seriously. When I was in the class, I would concentrate a lot. I would try to grasp all the concept and understand it thoroughly in the class itself. So that was all that I did when I was going for the coaching classes. So that happened, and 3-2 was over. In the first semester of fourth year, we decided to do a college fest in our college. There was a club, an English club. So it was a long pending dream that we had to do a fest. So we did that. First semester was given to planning and executing the fest. And then that was done in September, and in October I had my exams, 4-1 exams. And then November came, and I was very scared about what was going on, because I was just left with 3 months to prepare for the exam. So from then I sat down and I analyzed. So there was 3 months, November, December, and January. February 10th was the exam. So I thought 1 month we should go for revision. So I left January also. So November and December, there were approximately 8 weeks for preparation. And incidentally, that was the number of subjects also that I had for EC. So my goal was to finish 1 subject per week. So yeah, that is my story. Coming to how I prepared during that time, I made a perfect timetable which week would go for which subject. And initially I would start the week with going through my coaching notes thoroughly. And then there was also the material given to me from my coaching institute. I would go through that and practice the problems given in that. And then after that was done, this would take generally around 5 days. I would also make short notes out of all that I have revised, all that I have read, because that would come in handy when I go for my revision. And then I also enrolled in a test series, because test series is really important. And I started giving the subject-wise tests also after each subject was over. So that has been the story of my preparation.
But ma'am, while preparing, like before starting to prepare, students will have the dilemma of like, will I be able to make it by the end, or like there'll be a lot of it will be very frightening. The situation will be very bad. Like how to deal with that?
Okay, so the fear of the exam is common. You've given a lot of exams so far. 10 boards, 11 boards, 12 boards. And after that, you've had JD exam, advanced, and now this, and MSET. So one thing is really important before you start preparing for any exam. Okay, you should understand these 3 important things. The first one is the demand of the exam. Take MSET for example. The questions are not very difficult, but there is a time constraint. So you have to have speed in solving the questions. At the same time, if you look at advanced, the questions are difficult, but there's a lot of time compared to MSET. So the number of questions is less, but they make you think a lot. So first of all, you have to understand the demand of the exam. So for GATE, there are 65 questions, as I already told you, for 3 hours. So the time is not a constraint, because you get around 2.5 to 3 minutes for each question. So that is not a problem. The second question, but accuracy is important. You should make sure that whatever you do, you're doing it perfectly, so that you don't have to go back and check the calculation again. So that comes with practice. The second important thing to understand is that you have to have your concepts very clear. Okay, if there is any confusion, go through it repeatedly until you get it right. Okay, because confusion in concepts leads to marking wrong answers, and you can't afford that if you want to ace the exam well. And the third thing, a very important thing, is also understand why you want to give the exam. Okay, have a why in your mind. So if you have a strong why factor, you will automatically get the how of it. Like if you know why you're doing it, you will know how to do it. So these things are important to be kept in mind.
And ma'am, what is the ideal time to start preparing? Like most of the people who are in the fourth year are like afraid if they're already too late or if they can make it by
Okay.
February. Will
Hmm.
it be okay if they start
Okay.
preparing now?
Yeah. Okay. So see, if you think now is it too late now? Uh, they say this, that it's better late than never. So don't let those excuses bog you down. So whenever you decide to do it, just start doing it. Don't try to give excuses. Okay. So doing it in 3 hours. I mean, I am the example. In 3 months, I finished it in 3 months. The only important thing is that the schedule should be proper. You should have a proper timetable, and you should have the habit of sticking to it also. In that case, it's never too late, seriously. Apart from that, if you ask me what is the ideal time for starting preparation, generally during the first year, it is uh, advisor. I mean, first years usually take some time to get familiarized with the college environment, because they've just been out of school, and it's like they're just thrown out there for everybody to see. So it is better, like it takes 1 year at least to get familiar with the college environment and the course and everything. So in the second year, I think if uh, you should get to know things like second year, what options you will be having in the future. Talk to people, talk to friends, friendly seniors or your relatives. Search on the internet, like what is the situation like in the world? What are your interests? Which job profile matches your interests. So do proper research during the second year. Also during this time, start developing your personality also, like acquire a skill or form a habit, learn a new language, like it might be a human language or a computer language, explore arts. All these things give you some confidence, okay, that you have some other ability or talent. This hobby also gives you some respite from the fatigue of preparation that you will go through in the third and fourth years. Okay, so that I would say. So third year is the right time to start preparation. I think from this year, third years are also being allowed to write the exam. So yeah, third year is the proper time to start, and if you can come to a conclusion about when you want to that you want to write this exam, then go for it from the third year itself. Okay, and regarding the time frame that you will need to finish the exam, I would say around 6 to 9 months, you will be able to comfortably finish the syllabus. If it's 1 year, it's really nice, but you can also do it in 6 to 9 months. There's this law called the Parkinson's law. I don't know if anybody here has heard it. Okay, it says that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So don't worry about is it too late or things like that. Just form a timetable. Okay, how much ever you are able to finish that much. But don't stop preparation with the idea that maybe time is over and I can't do it. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. What you've said is really helpful. And is coaching really necessary, or can we also get like prepare ourselves with online materials and stuff?
Okay.
Could you
Yeah.
please tell us that also?
So yeah. So as I already told you, I enrolled for a coaching institute. I enrolled in ACE Academy, Vizag. The two important things that coaching gives you is that firstly, there is an amount of seriousness because you've paid an amount, and you'll get serious. Also, there is a schedule for which class will happen when. So you have to attend it, and it's not going to happen again. So with that fear, you will definitely attend the class. That is one. The second thing is you will have teachers readily available for clarifying your doubts. Having said that, I would also say coaching is neither sufficient nor necessary. So given the information explosion that is happening these days, every resource is available on the internet. So if you open YouTube, there are multiple channels offering various playlists of subjects. Entire subjects are available online. So I don't think if you're not able to get a coaching or enroll in a coaching institute, that is in any way a handicap. Okay. So coaching is neither necessary nor is it sufficient. It's not like you join coaching and just leave it at that. Okay. Hundreds and thousands of people are are enrolling in coaching classes. So to shine, you have to practice on your own. You have to give your input also for that to happen. Yeah, there are many resources available online, YouTube, and there are practice questions, previous year papers, everything is available online. So if you really know, if you know what you have to do, if you don't need coaching in that part, and if you are dedicated and very serious about preparing and you don't need anybody's push, I think you can also prepare without coaching. That is not necessary.
Okay, ma'am. And you said that there should be a proper schedule for preparing, right? So,
Yeah.
what should be the strategy? Like a proper strategy.
Okay. Okay. So I would like to suggest all of you with a strategy that I came up by considering a lot of factors, what worked for me and other stuff. So yeah, I will tell you this, but please keep in mind that this is not the ultimate strategy. So please understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and only if it works for you, you do it. You can define the strategy and also apply it to yourself. So it depends on how your convenience. It depends on your convenience. Okay. So the first step towards preparation is that you understand the syllabus. So download a copy of the syllabus. It is available online. Every branch has its own syllabus. So go through the syllabus. Don't have fears that questions might come out of it. No, generally the questions come from the syllabus only. So once you go through the syllabus, finalize on your reference material. So if you have enrolled for a coaching class, they will give you the material themselves. So that will be your reference material. As of me, I did not refer to any standard books. Like particularly, if I had a doubt in a concept, I would refer. But my main source of preparation was the material that ACE provided to me. So coaching material, reference books. If you've enrolled in a coaching, you will get it from your coaching institute. Otherwise, I think even if you decide to study on your own, following YouTube classes, you can order these materials, only the books from their websites. So that won't be a problem. ACE is there. There's Made Easy. You might have like specific to your department. There might be some other institute also. So you can order reference material from there. But please make sure that you don't go through many textbooks for the same subject. Okay, that is just a lot of time consuming, and the cost to benefit ratio is also not that high. So stick to one thing. If you have a doubt or if you want to go deeper in a topic, then you have the internet anyway, or you can also then refer to standard textbooks that are available online or in some libraries at your college or something like that. So first step is go through the syllabus, then you're done with your reference material also. So when you're going through the classes, that might be coaching or through YouTube, whatever you decide on. First, as soon as that class is over, I would advise you to start practicing the questions parallelly. Like if some topic was taught today, go back home, go back to your room and start practicing those questions. Search for questions in the material or from the net and start practicing those questions parallelly. So this will help you, this will give you more time in revision. So do that. And along with this, when you go through and practice problems, also star mark, take a red pen and star mark important questions. Questions that you think are very good. Like you don't have to go through all the sums again for your revision, during your revision, right? You don't call it revision in that case. So star mark the questions so that these will be the ones that you will practice again in your first or second revisions. So that is one important thing. After this is done, you do this for your entire syllabus, like all the subjects will be done. For the first revision, then you start your first revision. At this time, it is very important to start making a schedule also, like how long will you take for the first revision of which subject, in what order. Have small targets, daily targets, weekly targets. Also monitor yourself, see where you're standing, see how well you're able to finish your targets, meet them. Okay. One more thing is smart work is very important. So you have to assess subjects and prioritize them based on their weightage and difficulty. So there are two aspects here, okay? Weightage and difficulty. Your first priority should always be the easy topics that have more weightage. So sort out all the topics in this way. The first priority is easy topics which have more weightage. The second will be the easy topics with less weightage. That is, even if one or two questions will appear from it, you should not leave them. Okay. Third will be the difficult questions with more weightage, and then the last priority will be difficult questions with less weightage. It doesn't make sense to go through difficult questions if you're not being rewarded at the end of the day in the exam, right? So that forms part of your strategy. So after you prioritize subjects also, go through the notes that you have made when you were attending the classes. After that, make short notes. This short note is very important. You have to include in it all the formulae, relevant formulae, examples, things like exceptions that are the main focus of the exam, some important parameters and things like this, or any good point that you think might be necessary to revise at a later point of time. So this short notes is very important. This will come in handy as a ready, revision material just before the exam. Also, this is the proper time to enroll for a good test series also. Test series is also a very important part of preparation because they tell you where you stand. They give you the pressure of the exam, the constraint of time, and they tell you if, they make you ready for the final exam. So in that way, test series are very important. So after attempt test series also, subject-wise test series. And also in this test series, note down some good questions. At the end of the test series, after you finish a test, you have to go through all the solutions also, so that you know where you were wrong. Why do you go wrong somewhere? Only if you're not very strong in that concept, right? So that means you have to go back to the concept again, go through all of it, practice some more problems in it, so that you will be able to ace that subject. Okay. So this is how test series help. And also note down, put a book for this, note down the important questions that you come across in your test series also. So for your next revision, the final revision, you can say, apart from before the exam, again, go through the marked questions in your material, all the marked questions, just go through them, see if you're able to solve them again, and also revise from the short notes periodically as much as possible. This will be your strategy. The final revision will be going through the short notes and practicing other tests, giving mock tests and test series. That will be the final 10 days of your preparation just before going to the exam. Also, please keep in mind that all along this while, you have to keep yourself healthy and fit if you want to use your time to the fullest. Okay, you can't afford to get ill during this time. So stay healthy and fit, eat right, exercise well, and yeah, so you're good to go.
Thank you, ma'am. What you've said is helpful not only for GATE aspirants but people who are writing up other exams also.
Yeah.
Like a lot of students are also confused, like how to manage preparing for GATE and also studying for the current semester.
Yeah.
Please tell us how to do that.
Okay. So first of all, let me address this question depending on the year of your study. So the first years, fourth years, I assume that you must have, if you're a serious candidate, you must have finished a significant part of your syllabus by now. So the strategy that I told previously works for you perfectly. So you go make short notes and test series and all of that. Keep giving as many tests as possible because that is going to help you a lot. After that, for the third years, there are two types of third years here, right? So those who are serious from the beginning and those who have finished a significant part of the syllabus. So these people also can follow the previous plan. But those of you who have applied like for just checking the exam and you're not sure about where to start, you should concentrate on the subjects that you have common for GATE as well as your semester, okay? Because you will anyway be giving your SEM exams very soon. So concentrate on them properly, and while you're going through them, also parallelly do your GATE level sums also. So that will help you in saving time. Right. Also, one more thing is aptitude is scoring in the exam. So 15 marks, people generally don't give a lot of importance to aptitude, but 15 marks is a very like the importance is very huge. So aptitude is very scoring. Focus on that as well, and also select three like depending on your time availability, select 3 or 4 other easy subjects that were finished in 3-1 or in your second year, so that you're good to go. Like you get some confidence that I can give the exam. And to the second years, if you're wondering when you should be giving the exam, I think attempting it once in the third year is a good option because it will serve two purposes. Firstly, you'll get a hang of the exam, like how is it going to be, and all that. Secondly, you will then by then at least finish 4 to 5 subjects, right? So that will help you a lot in saving time for revision. So yeah, attempting it in third year, I would definitely advise to all of you. It will give you some seriousness in preparation. You generally, if you want to know how to manage GATE and SEM parallelly, before fourth year until third year, you can do a parallel study. As your classes are going on, you can start preparing for your GATE level also. Then only. Uh, to make it more efficient, I think it'll be good if you can um, make a schedule for this also. Okay, by when I'm going to finish what? Because yeah, parallel study is the right option. And for the others, for the fourth years, for the third years, fourth years who are struggling to find time with all these assignments being given to all of you now that classes are online. So I think yeah, for you, just don't get afraid, don't fret. See, if I could manage it in 3 months, definitely you can do it. But the only way is to make a very tight schedule, and you should be very true to yourself that come what may, you're going to stick to the schedule and finish it and crack the exam. So that is what your mindset should be.
And ma'am, since GATE is around like under 3 months now, a lot of people are
Mhm.
losing motivation. Like they are
Yeah.
really scared. Like since the time is really less. So how to keep ourselves motivated?
Okay. So yeah, motivation is a really important aspect of any competitive exam for that matter because uh, the the thoughts of failure, the thoughts of maybe I'm not capable enough, these are general. Any aspirant will be having them, any competitive examination aspirant. So here it becomes very important to have a strong support system with yourself. So whenever you have thoughts of failure and fear, go talk to your friends or family members. So for me, it was my mother. I would go to her and tell her everything. Maybe what if I don't crack it, this and that, and then she would motivate me, giving examples and stories, and telling that, see, in the end, doing our work is just in our hands, right? Because the result is out of our hands, but all we can do is concentrate and give our best. So that is one important thing. So keep a support system along with you. Keep talking to them, discuss with them your fears and other things. Okay, that is really important. Secondly, make your goals, make visible reminders of your goals. I will tell you what I did. So there was this one time when I lost confidence in me totally, and then my brother understood this, and then he came to me. He asked me what subjects I had. So I wrote down all my subjects, and then he asked me to write the weightage of each subject, and then I wrote all the weightages also. So from this, depending on my confidence in the subject, I gave. I gave an estimation of how much I might score if my preparation goes along these lines. So I wrote all of that, and in the end came 75 marks. So this was going to be my target. And then I took an A4 sheet and I wrote target 75 with big letters and stuck it on my wall. So whenever I would study and I would lose motivation, I would look up and that would be visible to me. So then I would tell myself that this is your target. Okay. So believe me or not, I got 76 marks in the exam. So the target of me telling this is just that it is very important to set goals. Okay, it might not always be that you will reach them. Like if you want 70 marks, if you put a target of 70 marks, you might get 65 or 60 also. But that doesn't mean you should not aim high. Okay, So put a visible target and try to achieve it no matter what. You will reach there definitely. Also, this is not to say that I was putting myself under stress by looking at the picture. Okay, this is only to overcome the fear of the result that I was having. Whenever you feel stressed, it is okay, and it is necessary, in fact, that you take breaks. Okay, I took breaks whenever I felt overburdened, overloaded. 1 or 2 days of that won't hurt really, and it is important that you take breaks. Okay, oh, don't overstress yourselves. You should do whatever you do by loving it. So taking breaks is an important step in that. So yeah, support system is important, and also keep visible targets of your goals. Yeah, and also you can watch some videos online. It's not that you go completely isolate yourself. Watch some videos online, toppers interviews, so that you get a boost now and then. Yeah.
Ma'am, I forgot to ask earlier when you were talking about syllabus. A lot of our audience are from Andhra University, and they've raised the question if the syllabus of AU is enough, or do they have
Okay.
to refer other books as well?
Okay. Okay. Actually, the syllabus is, I think, more or less the same. There might be small changes here and there. Like, for example, we had a subject called microprocessors and microcontrollers. In AU syllabus, we had 8086, and for GATE, we had 8085. So here and there, it might change. But I think you can just get copies of both and compare it for yourselves. Okay, so that won't take more than an hour, and they will be largely similar only. The concept, I think, yeah, syllabus of every standard engineering college will be similar, and that will be helpful in GATE also. Mostly, they'll be similar. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. And another frequently asked question is what to do after GATE? Do we have to go towards taking a job or doing MTech?
Okay. So this is a very big question. I was also very confused regarding this. So after my GATE results were out, I started applying for colleges and for MTech courses also, and also I applied for some PSUs for a job. So I attended interviews, and then MTech I got a seat in IIT Madras, and then I went there. I joined. It was going on 2-3 months into the course. I started loving it. The college was very nice. The course was nice. Loving the curriculum, friends, campus, all was nice. And yeah, after that, my ONGC result got declared, and I was selected. I was very happy. But then this dilemma started. What should I do? So leaving this seemed to be like, it was very heartbreaking also. So because it was so nice. But this point will come generally. So I actually consulted a lot of people when this dilemma was there. So some would say go for MTech, some would say go for PSU. Why do you want to lose a good job? So in the end, it was totally a personal decision, because people are only there to tell you what good is there in what and what bad is there. So it finally comes down to your personal opinion. So it boils down to your personal priorities. I will tell you the positives of both. In a PSU, you get a good pay, you have good perks and allowances. There is great work-life balance also. But if you are very passionate about the subject, or if you want to pursue research, or want to get into a deeply technical job, then MTech is for you. Yeah. So both seem to be very lucrative. In the end, it really comes down to what you and your family wants. Having said that, I will also ask you to first concentrate on the exam. Once the results are out, you can weigh all the options and then figure things out eventually, and you will get to a decision finally. So don't worry too much about that and stop your preparation. Okay.
And ma'am, during the test day, on the test day,
Okay. Yeah.
during the 3 hours, how do we go through the exam? How do we attempt it?
Mhm.
Could you tell us the
Okay,
strategy?
yeah, important question. So, really, frankly speaking, if you're thorough with your concepts, cracking the exam is not very difficult. So, generally, around 40 to 50% of the questions are easy. So, they're easy, straightforward questions. Around 20 to 30% are of a medium level, and the rest are difficult. Just remember that the difficult questions are difficult for everybody. So, don't waste your time at that aspect. Okay. first thing to remember is don't stress yourself during the exam. Okay, just think of it as any other mock test, like the ones that you give during a preparation. Okay, because stress reduces your efficiency a lot. I experienced this in some of my exams. So be cool, practice calmness during your mock tests only. Okay. During those 3 hours of your exam, every second should be dedicated to solving the questions in front of you. That's it. Not drawings, not marks, nothing. Only the target is solving the question that is in front of you. Okay, but this nervousness or this little butterflies in your stomach is common. It is only natural. It is there for everybody, even the person that finished the entire syllabus multiple times. But just don't let it overpower you. Okay, these are the main instructions for before entering the exam hall. So once you open the question paper, you this is what I follow. So initially, the first round, I would read a question. If it is easy and a straightforward question, I would immediately solve it and then go to the next question. If it is difficult, so the first round, do all the easy and straightforward questions, like the ones that involve very little calculations, straightforward theory questions. Go through that. If you find difficult question, just skip it and go to the next. Okay, you can cover that in the later rounds. So in this way, you will be able to cover around maximum, if you prepare well, around 20 to 30 questions will be over in this round. Okay, easy and straightforward ones. The second round, go again back to the first question, to the questions that you have not attempted. Okay, this round you do the easy questions that involve moderate calculations and the medium difficulty level questions. So this will be a second round. And then go through the iteration again. This time you do the heavy calculations question, the questions that involve heavy calculation, and the difficult ones. Try the difficult ones this time. So this way, follow this iterative method. I think this has helped me a lot, because if you sit down with an easy question that has a lot of calculation, it is only inefficient, because you can solve 2 or 3 other questions in that time. Okay, so this is how you plan your time. Don't get also afraid if the first few questions are difficult. Okay, because the next questions might be easy. Don't lose your confidence because of that. Don't commit calculation errors. Strive for accuracy right from the first day of your preparation. Okay, and also don't let your stress lead to overthinking. Don't overthink about the question. This might lead to committing an error in an easy question also. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Would you like to give us like last minute tips and preparation, tips for preparation?
Okay. So this basic strategy that I just told you remains true and valid for any branch. Only the details like books and all, that might differ for the various branches. So there are some topics that I want to highlight. Okay, there was a question about easy way to remember concepts. So one thing I want to make clear is that there is no easy way to success. So as ironic as it might sound, hard work is the easiest way. So practice, revise, go through multiple problems. That will be a way forward. And about good mock test series, I have enrolled for ACE because that was where I was taking my coaching. I think Medici is also nice. There are a few others also. I think 1 or 2 mock test series will be enough. Don't go for more than that, because it will be overburdening you again. 1 or 3 should do, or 1 or 2 should do. And if there are 10 subjects in your branch, so around 4 to 5, you should be completely thorough with them, because you should be able to solve even a moderately difficult question in that. And then 2 to 3 subjects, you prepare them at a moderate level, like you can answer medium level questions. And the remaining subjects, you have to be able to answer easy questions from the subjects. Don't leave a subject, just go through all the subjects if there's time. Okay, leaving subjects will lead to losing marks also, because there are some easy topics, and if you leave that question, you will feel bad after the exam. So and the other thing that I wanted to highlight is that last minute tips. So for aptitude, be very careful about aptitude. It is very scoring. And there's the subject for engineering mathematics also. It carries around 13 to 15 marks. So if you're good at math and you have gone through your course mathematics very well, this is also a very scoring part. So don't leave that also. And other three to four easy subjects that I told you previously, go through them also. Yeah, please aim higher. One. Yeah. So this would be the last minute tips I would say. Stay composed and consistent, and take your work seriously. And yeah, and for those who are starting out with your preparation, don't start the preparation with excuses like maybe it is not good for me, maybe it is too tough for me. Because if your aim is to find excuses, you will find millions of them. But if your aim is to succeed, going above all these excuses is the only way, right? You have to have this thought process of if not me, then who will do it? And if not now, when will I do it? So don't and never underestimate yourself. You're capable of achieving far more things, far greater things than you think you can. Okay, so who knows, one of you or many of you might be sitting in this position giving a webinar next year. Okay, so yeah, finally I will leave you with this thought. The pain of regret is far, far more than the pain of discipline. So I have seen people regret after the exam is over, right? If only I had spent an extra hour in studying, if only I was more serious. So if onlys hurt a lot because regrets hurt a lot. My only advice to you will be, in a world full of if onlys, be the only if. Only if I work hard today will I be able to reap the fruits of my hard work tomorrow. Okay, so believe me, but the fruits of hard work are really, really sweet. Okay, so thank you very much, and all the very, very best.
Thank you so much, ma'am. But before you leave, I would also like to ask a few more questions from the YouTube live.
Okay, sure.
Frequent questions that are
Sure,
popular.
sure.
Few of them are asking like if you could share your timetable, what you used to do after college after 5.
Okay, actually, I told you my strategy already that I did not prepare. The only serious preparation that I did was in the final semester, like final 3 months. So my timetable then I have already shared. But if you want an advice on what you should do after your college hours, I told you. You have a subject now which is also in your GATE, like for your GATE syllabus. So take a printout of that, and as soon as your lecture is over today, go back home. If you want to go in depth, also, or if you want it in a GATE orientation, if you want to learn that subject, open a YouTube channel and just watch the video and make some notes. So if you can spend at least 1 or 2 hours every day, starting from third year, you will be very, very good to go. Because yeah, you will be very good to go. 2 hours is more than enough every day, and on weekends you can give 5 to 6 hours. So complete the subjects that you have in your semester also, because that will help you in parallel study. You will be able to do your semester exams also well, and that will help you in your GATE preparation also. So this should be the kind of an efficient and smart strategy. And like be ready to put in 5 to 6 hours at least during your weekends if you can do that.
And ma'am, since you are an alumni of Andhra University, people also want to know how the placements there work.
Okay, placements there, it's generally companies come and the placement and training and placement cell will inform you about that. So you can enroll, and then generally for any company there is an initial round of selection where there is an exam, and then you write the exam. If you qualify, you go to the next round. So the next round might be GD, group discussion in some cases. It might be an interview in some other cases. And the questions are for software companies, you get questions based on languages, software, computer languages, and then some are HR related questions, simple questions to assess your personality. So, and yeah, this will be largely the pattern of questioning in any interview for that matter, not just software. So if you want a core company, there were some companies like MathWorks and others. So there you have some technical questions also relating to your subject questions. So yeah, that's it.
Ma'am, people are also asking about your communication skills. You have a really good vocabulary and good communication skills, and since people are sitting for placements,
Okay.
and this is becoming
Okay.
really hard for students. So could you
Correct,
please
correct.
advise
Okay.
on that also?
I would generally urge all of you to start, develop this habit of reading books and also reading newspapers, because this also again serves two purposes. One, it will improve your vocabulary. Unconsciously, it will develop your vocabulary. And two, this will also improve your general awareness about the things that are happening around you. Okay, it will improve your social consciousness. So this will also help you in the interviews and group discussions that happen in various kinds of interviews. So develop this habit of reading books and reading newspapers. Very important towards becoming strong in communication skills. And also try. There are a few student organizations and clubs also in the college. So try to join them, because they are where you talk to people, interact with them in a slightly above the informal level. So that is where you develop these communication skills. And what else can you do? Yeah, reading and talking. That will be the, because practice is the only way to do. How many ever books you read, it is only if you start reading, you start talking, you will be able to improve your communication skills. And yeah, there is a subject called soft skills also in your third year, I think, and you should be able to take complete use of it. So whenever you get a chance to go in front of people and talk, take the opportunity, because college level is where you learn. And don't have the fear of judgment also, because if that is there, really you won't learn things. Don't fear judgment. That is where you learn, really. So if you get that opportunity, go in front of people, try to talk. Okay, don't bother people who are laughing. Okay, don't think people are laughing at you or something like that. uh, no, you have at least tried. So that is the only way to improve your communication skills.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Today's webinar was really informative and really helpful for aspirants, gate not only gate aspirants but all the fourth and third, final and third year students. We're really honored to have you in our webinar, and we're really proud that you are an alumni of Andhra University and
Thank you.
Air India rank of 26.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I hope there has been a takeaway for all of you from this webinar. I hope you reach greater heights, that you crack the exam, you put your hard work in and achieve success. All the very best. And yeah, I hope it has been enriching for all of you, and that you're clearer about GATE now than you were before.
Yes, ma'am. We surely are. We really do have a much better clarity now. Thank you so much.
So what is the agenda now?